How we doing, everybody? Hope you're all well. Now, if you're a fan of British mixed martial arts, or you're just a fan of whoever should be next in line fighting for the belt, then you might have to wait a little bit longer. What am I talking about? Get to the point, Bisping. Shut up, stop rambling, and say what you've got to say. Okay, Leon Edwards might not be fighting Kamaru USMAN as soon as once figured, because sadly, even though Leon Edwards is on a tremendous 10-fight win streak, including beating some very, very good, credible names, Kamaru USMAN is injured. Correct, he has a problem with his hand. Let's take a look at the news articles. Kamaru USMAN explains issue with hand tendons, weighs in on the likelihood of a UFC summer return. Now, the problem is, we thought international fight week that would be spearheaded by none other than Kamaru USMAN, taking on Leon Edwards, defending against Leon Edwards. USMAN is the reigning UFC welterweight champion of the world, but he's still healing from a hand injury that has kept him out of action since his win over Covington at UFC 268. He's frequently checked in with his doctor, but he said, according to his most recent appointments this week, that he still needs more time. What I was hoping for was the doctor to say, hey, all right, back to full go. But he expressed to me that this was a tendon issue, USMAN said in a recent interview with The Underground. Don't know who still goes to The Underground. The issue with tendons is that there is no blood flow there. Of course, the blood, when it goes there, that's what brings the healing nutrients, especially when the tendons are in the hands. So it takes a lot longer. And not just that way, it's also right on top of my knuckle. It's right on that money maker right there. This is the one I'm going to make contact with very, very quick. Clearly talking about his right hand, which is powerful, which does put people to sleep. USMAN 35 refuses to let his eagerness get the best of him. And very smart. Sometimes we want to rush back. We want to continue to fight. We want to make money. We're in our prime, but he's not going to let that happen. Sure, fans want to see him back, but he says, if I don't give my hand the appropriate time to heal properly, then I'm just going to split that right back open and I'm out for a whole year, potentially worse. I could do irreparable damage to where I couldn't potentially fight again. That is not a chance I'm willing to take. I love my career. And rightly so. Rightly so. Listen, if he's injured, he's injured. It's as simple as that. And if he's got tendon damage in his hand, of course. Listen, Kamaru's known as a wrestler, but so what? He's also known for his knockout power now. The hands under the tutelage of Trevor Whitman are getting better and better all the time. USMAN is a complete threat. And regardless of whether you're a wrestler or whatever, you're still going to punch. You're still going to look to do ground and pound. Even if you're a boxer, you're going to use your hands. So he can't go in there half-cocked. The pressure is too high. There is just simply too much to lose. USMAN right now is sitting pound for pound #1 on the goddamn planet. You know what I mean? So why would you go in there against a worthy contender like Leon Edwards? Leon Edwards is no walk in the park for anyone. He has earned this right. Yes, Kamaru beat him by decision the first time, but Leon ever since then has been laser focused on getting that rematch, and here it is. It is right before his hands. It is there for the taking. However, he's just going to have to wait a little bit longer. Fingers crossed Kamaru rests up and can come back sooner rather than later. It would be a shame if he was out for a year, as has been suggested by some people. What happens then? What happens then if Kamaru USMAN is forced out for a year? We know history has shown us that they will bring in an interim champion. Okay? But who would that be? Welterweight champ. Interim welterweight champ. Kamaru USMAN, no, Kamaru's out. What am I saying? I'm talking about Kamaru USMAN right now. Leon Edwards, for sure, because he's the #1 contender right now. So Leon Edwards would have to be half of it. And who would the other ones be? Khamzat Chimaev? Colby Covington? They're the two that spring to mind. You got Belal Muhammad there as well. Don't write off Belal Muhammad. He's on a massive win streak of his own. But if Kamaru is out for a year, and let's hope that he's not, because I don't think he will be. Fingers crossed, with the right doctors, with the right care, and he takes his time, he might be back by September, something like that. So for Leon, it's a shame because Leon hasn't had the busiest schedule, but September, it's not too far away. You know what I mean? What is that, 4 months? Something like that. Yeah, 4 months away. Not too bad, not too bad. Just relax, take it easy, work on your wrestling defense or whatever, and then hit camp 2 months out. But if it is going to be an interim fight, I think Leon Edwards, Colby Covington. Of course, Khamzat would be a popular choice. Khamzat would do massive numbers. Khamzat would call for that. A lot of people would call for that. But Colby Covington is ahead in the rankings. And we all know Colby wants to fight for the belt again. Listen, regardless of what you think about Colby, regardless of what you think about the Amber Heard, Johnny Depp style lawsuit that him and Masvidal are going through right now.
They were super necessary.
You cannot doubt what Covington brings to the table when he fights in the Octagon. And I think if we were going to give it to the correct people, an interim title fight between Leon Edwards and Colby Covington would be the way to go. However, I may be pontificating for no reason whatsoever, but there is something else to talk about. Let's talk about this, because Kamaru is managed by the great Ali Abdelaziz of Dominance MMA. And here he is here. Ali Abdelaziz responds after being dubbed a rat by Jake Paul. Somebody is going to have to pay for this, he says. Ali Abdelaziz, the founder and president of Dominance MMA, a former fighter himself, let's remember, as well as a Renzo Gracie black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and a 4th degree black belt in Judo. Abdelaziz works with notable fighters, of course, including Kamaru USMAN. But what is going on? So apparently Jake Paul has been talking shit about Ali Abdelaziz. He recently tweeted out that the lack of star power of Canelo Alvarez's opponent, Dimitri Bivol, in the WBA light heavyweight title match earlier this month. Paul, the YouTuber star turned boxer, called Ali Abdelaziz a rat and a criminal scumbag in front of the media after Ali weighed in on the World Boxing Association matchup. Let me tell you right now, Ali is not a man to be messed with. We've seen him going at people many, many times. I'll get to that in a second. I just tweeted something because I feel nobody knows Canelo's opponent. This is Ali speaking. His opponent is great and he beat Bivol. But realistically, this is business and it's about making money, and he tried to dismiss Kamaru. But this week, nobody knows who Canelo is fighting. We shined light on him when Kamaru spoke about him. I'm nobody. He says, you see Eddie Hearn talking shit about Jake Paul. This little punk, what's his name? Jake Paul. And people, I'm going to deal with him because he said some things. It's funny because Jake Paul never said some things about me, but suddenly he starts saying some things about me. And I know where this is coming from. I'm going to tell you something. Somebody is going to have to pay for what he said. And I'm telling you right now, Jake Paul, right? Listen, Ali Abdelaziz has got form. And as we saw, black belt under Renzo Gracie. That's legit. 4th degree. Struggling on my words there. 4th dan in Judo. Bisping, get your words out. 4th dan in Judo. That's legit as well. And he's a former fighter himself. I see Ali about. I've got a great relationship. I like him a lot. I respect him a lot. He's got a great stable of fighters. He's a tremendous manager. And he's a very passionate man. Now, you could say passionate. That's one word. Another word is that he sticks up for himself. I have seen him get fresh with people. Case in point, the #1 dildo on planet Earth. Yes. Dylan Dennis. Dylan the Dildo Dennis. UFC 268, Madison Square Garden. I was there with Brantendo. And all shit hit the fan because Dylan Dennis was running his mouth. He was talking shit. And Ali gave him the biggest, best bitch slap that you ever saw. And Dildo was thrown out of the building. Jackass. And smart move by Ali Abdelaziz. I never call for violence, but certain people need a good old slap. And Ali, you are the man, in my opinion, for doing that. There's been a couple of other interactions as well. So Jake Paul, if you're out there and you see Ali Abdelaziz, he's coming for you, buddy. Anyway, all that aside, back to Kamaru USMAN. Fingers crossed he will be fighting sooner rather than later. Listen, he's had a tremendous schedule. I'm not surprised he's had some injuries. Last fight, yeah, UFC 268 against Colby Covington. Great fight. You know, he had a busy year. Fought Masvidal. Who else did he beat? Or Gilbert Burns. You know, he's had a strong schedule as champion. And sadly, this sport being so taxing on the body, you know, it's not surprising he's got a tendon damage. You know, a tendon issue, should I say. So, rest up, champ. Hope you're well. Hope you well, Ali Abdelaziz as well, like your words. Anytime someone talks shit about Dylan Dennis or Jake Paul, my God, it brings a smile to my face. Leon Edwards, stay focused, stay the course, of course. Stay the course, of course, Tyrone.
What the fuck is that?
But yeah, it's a bit of a shit show for Leon Edwards. He must be pretty frustrated right now because back in March, I was in London. Dana White was there. We did some stuff for BT Sport in the UK. Dana White confirmed on BT Sport that Leon would be fighting for the belt in summer, but now it looks like that could potentially be in jeopardy. So for Leon, you know, listen, stay positive, stay the course, don't give up, don't get sidetracked, don't get down. The fight's going to happen. Kamaru, rest up. Can't wait to see that one. That is the rightful match that should happen in welterweight. Hopefully, we see it sooner rather than later. Anyway, you're watching this on a Saturday morning. Hope you're all well. Have a great weekend. Tonight, Holly Holm taking on Ketlen Vieira. Former champion Ketlen Vieira taking on Ketlen.
Are you intoxicated?
Former champ Holly Holm taking on Ketlen Vieira. What am I saying? I'm losing my mind. That's going to be a good one. Stacked undercard as well. I'll be watching on the couch. Anything worth mentioning, I might just jump on and do another little YouTube video. Probably do a live on Sunday. Did a 2-hour live yesterday. A lot of people complaining, oh, I missed it. I didn't see it live. I'm letting you know. Sunday, there'll be a live. There will be a community post on the YouTube channel as well to give you ample advice, plenty of notice to know when we are going live. But anyway, until then, enjoy your weekends. All the best and enjoy the fights. That's all I got time for.